$500,000 for the Park and Trail Partnership Program. That's a grant program for grassroots friends organizations. We're about to talk more about that. Joining me now to talk about the issue, Allison Jenkins. She's from the Parks and Trails New York, and Aubrey Bent from the Friends of Schodack Island State Park. Thank you both for joining us today on In Focus.
Thank you for having us.
Let's start really with how the parks factor into this conversation about Earth Day. It's not exactly the same thing, but they're tied together, aren't they?
Yeah, they're tied together. They're all our shared green spaces. And I Love My Park Day is on May 5th. It's the 7th annual day this year, and it's all about taking care of our state parks and historic sites and public lands and cleaning them up and planting trees and flowers. So really making our spaces beautiful for all the visitors.
Let's talk about the Schodack Island State Park. I've never been there. I hate to admit that, but I haven't. I mean, tell us a little bit about it.
It's a beautiful place right on the Hudson River. There are a lot of birds down there. We have eagles, we have herrings, we have peregrine falcons. We do a lot of bird programs down there. It's a fun place for the whole family. We have camping down there, and like I said, we do various programs all summer long.
And I understand a lot of the work that's done there, the cleanup and things of that nature, is done by volunteers, isn't it?
Yes, it's all volunteers. We ask a lot of our local people to sign up for programs down there. I Love My Park Day is a day of beautifying the park, getting it conditioned for the season. Yeah, it's all volunteers.
This is just one state park and a whole system of them, right? So it's kind of interesting when you look at all of them together and how important they are to the New York economy. If the environment is good, it's good for these indigenous creatures, and then people come and visit these parks. You can't have one without the other.
It's true. And we had about 71 million visitors to New York State Parks and Historic Sites last year. And this is really a 9-to-1 return on investment for the state. For every $1 the state puts in, we get $9 back into the economy. So it's a great investment for the economy, as well as just something really special for people to do with their families on vacation, just a local thing to do on a Saturday. So they're really important to the state.
Keeping the state green helps bring in some green, I guess you could say.
Yeah, definitely.
That shouldn't be the only motivation, though. Obviously, we make a light of this, but I mean, this is a serious issue. Keeping the parks up to par, making sure that the environment is conducive to these creatures and also allowing people to come in, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if our parks aren't beautiful and clean, then no one's going to want to visit them. But also, parks are just a place for people to go, to get back to nature, to relax, to have fun, and we really do need that a lot of times.
Yeah, and Audrey, I see you nodding in agreement. I mean, you're obviously very tied to this issue. It's very important to you. Just from your perspective, I mean, why is it so important?
Oh, it's important to keep the parks clean so we can bring in the public and all the people that visit the parks. We have a lot of trails there. People hike them. We do ice skating during the winter. There's all kinds of programs which really boost the economy of the area too. So we've heard of other programs that are working alongside with us to keep the park going, to keep the villages and the towns going in the area. So yes, it is very important that we keep it going.
And Allison, this is part of a concerted statewide effort, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. There are about 14 different parks and historic sites in the Capital District, but statewide there are 135 different sites. We're still looking for volunteers to come on May 5th. So if you go to our website, which is ptny.org, we have a map with a bunch of green trees, so you can kind of search by your region and where you are geographically. Click on a tree, it'll tell you what the park is, what the project is for that day, and it's really easy to sign up that way.
I talked in the open about $90 million in the state budget being allocated for this, but this is part of a larger, long-term plan, right?
Mm-hmm. Governor Cuomo has a $900 million plan to really invest in the infrastructure in our state parks and historic sites. And this year we got another $90 million infusion of that. So we're grateful to the governor and the legislature for continuing that, because it's really necessary. But, you know, along with the infrastructure, we also have people like Audrey who volunteer at these state parks and historic sites and do a bunch of on-the-ground work, which is really important too.
Okay, very quickly here, we have about 2 minutes left. May 5th, tell our viewers what's happening then.
May 5th is the 7th annual I Love My Park Day. There's 135 sites across the state. Parks and Trails New York partners with the governor and the Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation to put this day on. We have other partners like the Department of Environmental Conservation, National Park Service, AmeriCorps, SCA, and ECC, and we all get out there with 8,000 volunteers across the state, clean up our parks, do painting, build picnic tables, clean up trash, plant trees and flowers, all sorts of things, and it's a really fun day. You get a really good feeling out of it, and it's really fun to go back later in the season and see all the good work that you did.
Audrey, what's going to be going on at Schodack
Oh,
Island?
we're gonna be cleaning up all the trails, we're gonna be planting flowers, we're gonna be cleaning up the campgrounds, there's just so much to do. Everybody who signs up gets a t-shirt too, a free t-shirt,
That's not
and
bad.
we're
That's a good
offering
deal.
everybody lunch too.
Very good. So
Yeah.
lunch and a t-shirt, it sounds like a good deal to me.
It is.
All right. Well, thank you for your time today on In Focus, both of you. We appreciate it.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
Happy birthday.
me. Happy
Happy birthday to you.
All right. Coming up next, we're going to talk more about what state lawmakers are doing to address climate change and protecting the environment. And of course, us. Assemblywoman Terry Warner, State Senator Kathy Marchone joining us next. Stay with us.